Hi everyone, this is Jessica from Petite Wreath Boutique, and today I'm showing you how to make this cute little wreath without cutting your mesh. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe and like button. Let's go over the supplies first. 12-inch wired wreath frame, this bone sign, 2 rolls of 5.5 mesh. I chose the beige one matching the sign as well as black. Is bone dog themed ribbon, a white burlap ribbon, and a black checker ribbon, zip ties, pipe cleaners for the sign, floral wire to create the bows, felt to cover the back of your wreath, felt scratches, Sharpie, wire cutters, rotary cutter, scissors, sharp scissors like pointy scissors, and hot glue gun. So first I start tracing the wire frame and I do the inner ring and the outer ring so I can cut the outside as well as the inside. So only the work frame is actually covered of the ring. Next is to prepare the sign. For this, I cut off the string. I have my felt pieces. I create a little U shape with the pipe cleaners. I put some hot glue on the wooden sign and push the pipe cleaner down. Put a little bit more hot glue on top and cover it with the felt scratch. I do this on both sides, so both sides can be attached to the wired wreath frame. Next up, we attach the mesh to the wreath. For this step, you layer the mesh over each other. So I put the black one underneath and the beige one on top. You keep the mesh on the mat. You create a little tail, like 2 inches. You walk your fingers up and hold the mesh tightly, and then you attach it with a zip tie onto the wreath frame. We only work on ring 2, counting from the outer row. So first, where you gathered the mesh, you attach it with a zip tie, and then you have the 2-inch tail sticking out, and there you mm, attach the tail to the reframe as well to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Next up is creating the loops. We are creating 9-inch loops, and you start counting from the zip tie, which is attached to the reframe, and then you measure 9 inches on your mat. You gather with your fingers, walk your fingers up, and then attach it. As you can see, I put it down, I measure it. The zip tie is the first measuring point. It's on 9, and then it's on, and I walk my fingers up to create another loop. And then I take another zip tie and put it down onto the reframe, only on bar 2, counting from the outer row. You put your fingers through, you keep holding the loop on with the other hand, you close the zip tie very tight, as tight as you can. You can cut off the excessive zip tie right away, and you push the loop closer to the other one. And for each bracket section, meaning from one bracket to another bracket, it's 6 loops, and all the loops are 9 inches long. So for this particular wreath and this reframe, there are 6 brackets, meaning you will have 36 loops. You continue doing your loops until you have it all around the reframe. On the the black mesh. I started on this wreath with the leftovers, so I came pretty fast to an end of the black mesh, as you can see. And what I did is I created the last loop, and then I put another zip tie on the ring of the wreath, and attach that leftover piece, that tail of the black mesh, to make sure it cannot get detached. And then I just take the new mesh out. I put it underneath the beige one. And to attach the new mesh, you just do the same step you did the first time when you started. So you create a little tail, like 2 inches. You get the mesh through the reframe where you gathered that point. You attach it with a zip tie to the reframe, and then you have a tail, which I also attach with another zip tie to the reframe. I used 6-inch zip ties to attach the loops to the reef frame. If you use new deco mesh rolls, you will not have this step at all, since we are having 6 brackets, and each bracket has 6 loops, and every loop has 9 inches. That is a total of 324 inches, and your mesh usually has 360 inches, so you will be fine. Now it's time to open the loops we just created. And for this particular step, all you do is you put your fingers into the loops you just created with the mesh and pull on each side. So one side will be turning black, the other side will be beige, and you rotate the colors. You go through the whole wreath until all the loops are open. Next step is cutting this adorable ribbon with these little cute bones on it and hearts and dog prints. So I made 6 ribbon bundles, and I cut 15 inches of this ribbon. This ribbon is 2.5 inches wide. And I made my life a little bit easier this time and just created loops, and then at the end you just cut them all together. So 6 of the puppy ribbon, and then another 6, 15 inches of this 1.5-inch black checker ribbon. Now it's time to put them together. For this step, you put the thicker ribbon on the bottom and then the thinner ribbon on top, and you turn it and find the middle and create a little loop. And then you just take a stapler and put one in on each side. Attach the ribbon bundles to the reframe. I used pipe cleaners, and I used the brackets as an orientation, since 6 bundles and 6 brackets. So you just flip over the reef, find the bracket, push the pipe cleaner through the reef, take the ribbon bundle, ruffle it in the middle, and put it on the wreath frame. Give the pipe cleaner 2, 3 twists, cut off the excessive pipe cleaner, and then like have that little inch left over and turn that pipe cleaner towards the reframe so you create like a little hook, what creates another layer of security for the ribbon bundle. It's getting time to attach the sign we pre-prepared. So you find a spot on the wreath you like. So at first I wanted to put it on the bundles. I didn't like that, so I chose another spot in between the bundles, the ribbon bundles, and into the mesh. And I'm being honest, it's my least favorite part of putting the wreath together, even though it's like the final step and you can see how beautiful your mind work comes together, but it's like a little fidget work and it's like not always working out for me, so you got to be a little bit patient in this step. I always attach a little loop to the wreaths. In this case, this is the jute cord we detached earlier from the sign. We are reaching the final steps for this wreath. Now it is time to create the bows, the main bows. I decided to make two, one at 11 o'clock and one at 5 o'clock. For this step, I use my bow maker. I put down a wire, like a floral wire, and I started with this white burlap. I made 5-inch tail and a 5-inch loop. Then I put down this puppy ribbon. I made also a 5-inch tail and a 4.5-inch loop. And to do this, the bow maker makes really your life so much easier. You just put it on, you twist the ribbon, and you go through the dowels again, you give it another twist, and you go back. The puppy ribbon, I used 2 loops with 4.5 inches each, and then cut another tail and 5 inches. And then I had the black one, also 5 inches tail. Same thing, you put it on the wreath, the bow maker in between the dowels, 5 inches, go through, give it a twist, 4 inches, 4 inches loop, 5 inches tail. Sorry about that. And then only one a loop on each side and a 2-loop button. Cut it off, and then you take your wire. You give it a good twist to make sure it's really tight. Push it down, get it off the bow maker, off with the dowels, give it some twists, and that's it. And you can create so beautiful bows with the bow maker and make your life really easy. Find a spot on the wreath you would like to put the bows on you just created. Like I said, I put it on 11 o'clock and at 5 o'clock. You get the wire through and attach it to the wreath frame. I got the felt out I cut out before to cover the back of the wreath. For this, I use my pointy scissors, poke little holes through, and use 4-inch zip ties to attach it. And I like to work. I start at 12 o'clock to secure the loop I created. And then I go to 6 o'clock, like working across each time to make sure that the felt doesn't pull on one side more than on the other. The final step, opening the bows. For this, I put my hand into the loop and make a rotating movement to create that, to open this loop. And for the tails, I use my fingers and point it down. This was the final step. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope you like the wreath. I love puppies, I do. So why not showing our love on our door frame, right? So see you next time.